Oh. Oh, I see. Can you hear me now? But you know what? This space this morning, it is for grounding before the chaos, for staying steady before decisions, and for remembering that peace is something you can build inside of you no matter what's unfolding out there. I am on this stream. Oh dear. We're going to check one more time to make sure that you can hear me. I guess whenever I put that tile back up there, you couldn't see me. So, you know what? This is the joy of learning new things. I am trying a new software. Boot up my cam here. Hopefully, you can see. There we go. See in the flesh. All right. So, here's the hard thing you are doing what you can do to not bypass, to not sugarcoat, but to anchor. You might be in a storm that no one else can see right now. You might be holding it together for others. Or maybe you're here because your nervous system is just tired of bracing. But let me tell you, I want this time for you to be a place where you don't have to perform, where your system gets to downshift. You don't have to hold it all together. You don't have to be strong for this moment. Just be here, just be present. That's going to be our goal today, simply just to be present. So, wherever you are right now, just sit upright or lie down, whatever helps your body feel supported. Soften your gaze or close your eyes maybe. Take a deep breath through your nose. Hold it and let it out. Again, inhale. Hold it. Let it out. One more time, big inhale. Hold. Let it out. Let your shoulders soften. Let your belly drop. And clench your shoulders. can clench your jaw. You're safe to settle. You're safe to pause. You're safe to not know the answer. So this moment is not about fixing. It's about regulating. I'm going to say that again. This moment is not about fixing. It's about regulating. Let your nervous system know we are not in a threat. We're in a pause. We're in a return. So I want to say some affirmations. And this is so funny because I've tried for so long to not always be caught up in affirmations. But the truth is it's so necessary to be able to weather the storm. Yes, you do need emotional regulation. You need to be able to use that. You need to be able to calm your nervous system. But before the storm is when you really need to do your preparation. So let's say some affirmations to help with that. Even if the sky darkens, I stay rooted in my center. Even if the sky darkens, I stay rooted in my center. I prepare without panic. I prepare without panic. I am allowed to ground before I act. I am allowed to ground before I act. I regulate first, then decide. I regulate first, then decide. I stay with myself, even here, even now. My breath is a lifeline I can always return to. My breath is a lifeline I can always return to. I can feel this without being consumed by it. I can feel this without being consumed by it. My nervous system knows how to reset, even in fire. My nervous system knows how to reset, even in fire. I am not just reacting, I am choosing. I am not just reacting, I am choosing. My presence is more powerful than my fear. Now, you might think we've covered affirmations for before the storm and during the storm, showing that panic is not proof of danger. It's just a cue to slow down, that we can do this without being consumed. But what about after the storm? After the storm, there's still some things you can say to strengthen yourself. Like this: the storm has passed. I'm still here. That means I can rebuild. The storm passed. I'm still here. That means I can rebuild. Survival sharpened me. Now I refine myself. Survival sharpened me. Now I refine myself. I don't need to rush to the next chapter. I am calm. Regulating is not weakness, it's preparation. I walk forward with clarity, not chaos. This has been helpful to you so far, right? Helpful, just so I know. I think what is so interesting right now, and I'm just checking the comments to see if I have any here. What's so interesting about this is like, you think about what it takes to survive a real storm, and there is a certain amount of pre-storm readiness. So that's before it hits. Survival is front loaded because you don't prepare in panic. I mean, you prepare in calm. You know your escape routes. You have your food, your water, your medicine, your batteries. You tie down what can blow away. You have backup power. I know if you are in coastal cities, you know very well about this. You have your printed contacts. If you're Googling what to do as the storm hits, you're already behind. And that is why these affirmations are so important and so powerful to weather the storm. Now, during the storm, there's also a way to execute under pressure where you are calm. And it sounds kind of opposite. You may think sometimes it's good to be in a panic. And that's because when the sky turns black, adrenaline will lie to you. But you have to remember to stay away from the windows, stay inside, don't rush, don't guess, because when you're acting under panic, it's different than pressure. You have to have calm execution under pressure. You have to stay prepared, and you have to remember your preparation during the storm. I mean, even when you prepare, you think flashlights over candles, battery radio over apps. Panic makes people do stupid things. And do you know what storms do? It's not very nice. Storms punish stupidity. Storms punish stupidity. Just because the storm stops, though, doesn't mean you're safe. So there is a post-storm recovery. Now, obviously, I'm kind of blending this real world tactical survival breakdown and giving you direct life application, because there are parallels between real storms and storms in our lives, and no one is immune to it. We all have storms. And we may think we're being smart, preparing before it, which is very true, and staying calm inside of the storm, also very true. But just because the storm stops doesn't mean you're safe. And in our personal lives, it's literally trauma when your brain thinks the storm is still happening because you haven't found a way to wind down. You haven't found a way to rebuild. Just because the storm stopped doesn't mean you're safe. Downed wires, contaminated water, unstable structures, they kill people after the storm. Isn't that crazy? It's not during, it's not before, it's after the storm. When we kind of have our guard down, when we're not paying attention, when we're moving too quickly, when we haven't documented before to know what to do after the storm. And as I like to say, when you are making a decision and then you get hit by something, fight, flight, freeze, panic, shut down, whatever, you have to take a pause, recalibrate. And then when it's over, no, you have to re-enter where you exited, remembering the plan. What was I doing before this storm? What was my purpose? What was my goal? What was I trying to achieve? So document, triage. That means, that just means assess the situation, move a little bit slowly, and just know recovery is a marathon. Why? Because if you sprint, You might hurt yourself when you're trying to recover. Surviving is step one, and rebuilding is the real test. Surviving is step one. So the next thing I will say, and I hope that, thank you, Shankar, for saying that this is helpful. Glad I have some chats that are coming in. If this is helpful to you, please do write that and let me know. I see Patham, Terrence. All right. So how about mental clarity? How do you get that? Remember I told you before the storm, there's this sort of pre-storm readiness and this nervous system prep. I don't want to make it too complicated, so I'll just say if your finances, your emotions, or your relationships have no boundaries, no buffers, you are already exposed. So that is one way you can help yourself, is by making sure you have the boundaries and you're less exposed before anything happens. If that sounds good, type in boundaries. Boundaries. God, Shankar, this almond milk is so disgusting. It's terrible. I blame you for this. There are people who practice regulation during peace, and you should be one of these people because that will help you move smarter during war. And I'm always talking about how finances can be compared to war. Not everyone's going to understand that, and that's fine. That's okay. But when you're in the thick of it, you understand it feels like life and death. Your nervous system just freaks out sometimes and will treat a dip, a crash, something like that, the same way as if somebody had pulled a gun or a knife on you. Like your brain makes your body respond the same way, specifically your amygdala, that is just running the show in fear. So what helps you? It goes back to before the storm, the rituals, the breath work, the clarity, being here right now. These are your sandbags, your generators, your backup. And in real storms or emotional breakdowns, panic lies. It will lie to you, and you have to remember your training. Remember all the things that are true, especially about yourself. So if you haven't understood, the way you stop yourself from texting out of fear or critting from shame or spiraling in overanalysis, because that's how storms compound really, is by regulating, because that allows you to move under pressure without flailing. And it doesn't make the storm any less of a storm. It doesn't make the hit any less of a hit. But it does mean that you are going to move under pressure in a way that doesn't break you when the storm is over. Because remember, I said there's a lot of people that are killed after the storm, not during it, after. But regulation lets you move under pressure, okay? Now, most people go back to those broken patterns after a life storm. And if you're going back to shambles, that is dangerous. But if you study and you rebuild and you repattern and you find a way to turn off that loop so your brain doesn't believe that you are stuck in that storm, then you don't just survive, you upgrade, you thrive. So I think it's about time to close here. And I'm so grateful that you have been with me today. And I really hope this can help. Maybe you can replay this. Let's take one final breath in. And let it out with sound. That feels good to your body. Let's do it again. Breath in and out. Say this with me. I survived the storm. I remain. I rebuild. Very good. So today might not be smooth. Still early in the US here. Maybe you're getting ready to go to sleep on the other side of the planet. It doesn't matter whether today might not be smooth. Your system is more prepared now than it was 20 minutes ago. And you now have some tools you can use in real time. You have some language that keeps you clear, and you can come back to this state in under 90 seconds. Clarity is a nervous system skill. And if today brings you waves, you have some anchors, remember? Again, if you have stayed this entire time, thank you. You just jumped in. You can find more support at any time at andreaferguson.com. Let's see if I can bring that up so you know what you'll be looking at. And guess what? When you sign up, you get taken immediately to a Telegram, Health, Wealth, and Freedom. It's a space that is going to help you stay in this fight. Let me share this here so you can see. Screen. All right. Okay, so here, do you see these 90 seconds to reset? These are 9 techniques that were specifically chosen because the military uses it, the elite use it, and I really wanted a very, 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 very quick way for you to be able to reset without overthinking it. Because what happens is your brain can't think when it's too wild and crazy. You just can't think under fire. So you have to bring some clarity back to your body. You can do a number of those things depending on what you need, depending on what state you're in. And so if you go to andreaferguson.com, you can get into the Telegram where I will help you. And you can also have access to very quick tools to calm you down in 90 seconds. So whether that is a breath of fire, cold exposure, if you're in a place where you have access to cold like ice or anything you're able to shut down that mental fog and remove the mental fog, I should say, remove the shutdown. There's humming you can do. There's all kinds of things. The body is so amazing. So go to andreaferguson.com. I'm going to put up that banner again right here. andreaferguson.com, where you get your regulation mantras and affirmations. All right. Going to close you out with some birds. Thank you once again for being here. Have a wonderful day. And remember, regulate first, move second. Bye-bye now.